Uparashtrapati ji, members of the core group of the IC Center, ladies and gentlemen. Let me at the outset express my deep gratitude to respected Uparashtrapati ji for acceding to my request to release the book. I feel really honored that the book is being blessed by you. Thank you, sir. Friends, you may ask me why I have written this book. Especially because I am one of those rare IAS officers who have reached their 80s. I was just reminded by my friend that I have reached my 80s without writing my autobiography. The reason is very simple, that I found that this subject of ethics of public service was much more interesting than the story of my life. In fact, if the story of my life was written, it would have been like a Xerox copy of the autobiography of one of my colleagues. And therefore I thought that this is a subject on which I should think and write. That is how this book came about. Friends, during the years I was in government, this idea of ethics of public service was not a very strong concept. It was merely thought as a constituent of the performance of civil services. Also, it was confused with financial integrity, that ethics was financial integrity or following the rules. But when I got involved in public discourses on governance, I realized that it was a totally different type of a subject. I realized that the lack of ethics has caused a lot of disturbance in the delivery of public services. It was responsible for the destruction of a large part of delivery of public services to the citizen. The citizen receives the services inadequately because of lack of ethics on the part of public servants. This is what I believe. And also, curiously, lack of ethics is not confined to acts of corruption. Lack of ethics is much bigger than the total quantum of corruption in government. At least this is what I believe. As Shri Kapoor pointed out, during my interaction with the serving members of the civil services, I found that there were aspects of ethics which I was not aware of. The IC Center provided me an opportunity of meeting hundreds of young officers of different services. And this book draws a lot from those interactions with the participants of the programs. You see, I have a dream. I have a almost impossible dream. A dream in which all the public servants at the union and in the states, they work, they function with a high sense of ethics. We all know that this is not going to happen. But then, I think, with collective resolve, we can perhaps increase the level of ethics, reach a higher level of ethics. If we want that our public servants should be responsive to the needs of the people, then we should not lose hope. We should work in the spirit of Gandhi's talisman to reach out to the last man of the society. It is possible. and we should work for it. In the book, I have tried to draw a distinction between ethics in public service and ethics of public service. You see, the existing literature on ethics, it all points out to the performance of a public servants in accordance with the laws and regulations. That if she discharges her duties efficiently and honestly, then she passes the test of ethics in public service. Ethics of public service is different. Ethics of public service, it is inherent in the logic of public service. It is inherent in the idea of good governance. In fact, a truly welfare state does not stop at providing certain stipulated services to the citizen. It goes beyond that. It anticipates the needs of the people and tries to fulfill them. In that sense, I say that ethics of public service starts where ethics in public service ends. There are no frontiers for ethics of public service. It's without any frontiers. In fact, I have tried to, coin a formal definition of the ethics of public service in the book. I'll not go into it. But I'll only suffice to say that if we want to have a brief definition of ethics of public service, it will be doing more than what the law requires and doing less than what the law permits. In the book, I have also tried to disaggregate the ethics in various aspects. And I have pointed out a number of attributes of ethics, which is only illustrative. You might like to see these attributes, which are given in one chapter of two chapters in the book. And lastly, I would say that this book does not provide any answers. It does not make any prescriptions. It merely proposes that the subject of ethics in public service should be discussed. It should be debated. And if the subject it comes near to the center stage of discourse in governance, I will consider my efforts very richly rewarded. Thank you very much.